What is up, Knicks Nation? Welcome on into Knicks Media. I'm Richie. The Knicks are in Vegas on Saturday, taking on the Orlando Magic for the NBA Cup semifinals. I'm excited for this matchup. I know you guys are as well. Welcome on into the Knicks Media live show. Let's get straight into business. I'm excited to talk all things New York Knicks right here on Knicks Media. Do me a solid favor by simply smashing the thumbs up button if you did not already on your way into the show. Would greatly appreciate that. And let me know your overall thoughts of these Knicks in the comments. How are you feeling? Because the Knicks are red hot. One of the hottest teams in basketball. We saw the NBA Cup last night, the Western Conference side of the NBA Cup. And we know who the Knicks will be facing off against if they are able to beat the Orlando Magic. The Oklahoma City Thunder are absolutely ridiculous. And I really do hope the Knicks get an opportunity to beat the Magic, because I think we can all agree we know who's coming out of the West. They are just unbeatable. I mean, the Thunder is ridiculous, man. And yeah, if the Spurs beat the Thunder, I'm okay with facing off against the Spurs. But obviously the Knicks have to beat the Magic before we even have a chance to go into the final round of the NBA Cup. But I don't know about you guys. I want to see this Knicks team go up against the Thunder, because the Thunder is the best team I've seen in a long time. Like, I don't know about you guys, but they're giving me that 73-9 Golden State Warrior vibes. And it's unbelievable. They're NBA champions. They have the same team as last year. They're unbelievable. And I want to see what the Knicks look like in a high-pressured environment against the Thunder, because I'll tell you right now, if the Knicks beat the Magic and they face off against Oklahoma City in the final and beat them, that's going to level up the optics of these New York Knicks. And then it's really going to make the debate even crazier if the Knicks should go after Giannis or not. So very interesting stuff here. So I'm excited to break it all down. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button if you did not already on your way into the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's get into the chat. We got my boy. Good day, my guy, Rich. Hope all is well today. Go New York, go New York, go. All about matchups indeed. Yes, sir. Let's go. They are really the best team in the East. I agree. Nostalgic Nick 7 in the chat. Salute, salute, salute. Salute Richie Rich and the Knicks Media Mafia. Absolutely love to see it. All right. So let's get into it. I want to first and foremost preview this matchup between the Knicks, because I think it is very important to talk about the Knicks and the Magic right now. All right, so let's get it started. Welcome on into the New York Knicks versus the Orlando Magic preview. This is going to be a big game. The New York Knicks have a chance to advance to the NBA Cup final, which would be against either the Oklahoma City Thunder or the San Antonio Spurs. The Knicks got to get through the Orlando Magic beforehand, and the Knicks just faced off against the Magic last weekend, and they have a good opportunity to get another win. Now, the good news about this game coming up for the New York Knicks is that now that we have an opportunity, or we had an opportunity rather, to beat the Orlando Magic, we kind of have an idea of how to beat them. The Knicks fell twice to the Magic heading into that game. And unfortunately for the Magic, they have an injury of Franz Wagner, and he was a big reason why they were beating up on the Knicks early on. So that is definitely an advantage that the Knicks have, is one of the better players on the Magic is injured in this game that you definitely have to keep an eye on. Now, other things about this game that I'm looking forward to is how Jaylen Brunson continues to dominate in the high-pressure situation, because you look at what he has been doing, especially against the Toronto Raptors. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I absolutely at a loss for words for Jaylen Brunson. He continues to shine. You see his stats on the bottom of the graphic, 28.3 points per game, and he is just on another level. 6.3 assists for the season, and I think that what he is doing right now, he is proving to be an MVP candidate, and I am really excited to see what he looks like in another high. The return of Desmond Bane versus OG Anunoby. I don't know if you guys saw, but against their game this past weekend, you had Desmond Bane just throw the ball at OG Anunoby's ribs. So I don't know why he did that still to this day, but hey, that was a funny moment that we are all going to be excited to see when the Knicks take on the Magic again. And it was all fun and games after the fact. But you saw what the Magic did against the Miami Heat in their game, in their semi-cup finals. They also scored 117 points, and they beat the Miami Heat 117-108. And you look at what they were able to do even without Wagner. It's definitely something. They got a deep team, man. Desmond Bane is a guy you got to keep an eye on. He had 37 points in that game for the Orlando Magic. 37 for Bane. That's ridiculous. Paolo Banchero had 18 points. Jalen Suggs is a stud for them at 20 points in that one. Wendell Carter. So they got a really good team, the Orlando Magic. I got a lot of respect for them. And I think that they're one of those teams that have proven to be one of those teams that understands how to beat the Knicks. They beat the Knicks twice this season. I don't think any other team has beat the Knicks twice so far this year. So that's something that you got to keep in mind. But a big matchup I'm looking forward to in this game is going to be Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. I think continues to be the glue of the New York Knicks. The wing stop, baby. So I'm excited to see what they look like against the Orlando Magic. You guys let me know in the comments who is an X factor you guys have for this matchup against the Orlando Magic. I'm looking at Mr. OG Anunoby, man, because what he's been able to do these last few games defensively since he's returned to action has been an absolute joy. If you guys see what he's been able to do, I'm going to pull it up here. I mean, the defense off the charts. The defense for OG Anunoby is absolutely off the charts. You see him protect the rim here, blocked. Get that out of here. Get that weak stuff out of here. I mean, you talk about OG's ability to defend the rim, defend all 5 positions. It's just an absolute difference. It's a complete different animal when you have OG Anunoby healthy compared to when the Knicks did not have OG Anunoby healthy earlier on in this. No, he was healthy earlier in the season. I meant a few weeks ago when he had that hamstring injury. He was out for a few weeks. But you see the defensive presence that he had against the Toronto Raptors, his former team. You see that he's not afraid to switch and defend the rim with vengeance, blocked. I mean, the rim protection is something that I'm really fond of this Knicks defense as of late. Karl-Anthony Towns deserves a lot of credit as well for the rim protection as of late, actually. Not a strength of his, but I think that is something that you got to add, that Karl-Anthony Towns is coming off a game of playing really good defense. But OG's defense, man, combined with Mikal Bridges, is just freaking awesome, man. It is absolutely awesome. So big shout out to OG Anunoby. I'm excited to watch him in this game against the Orlando Magic because you look at what he's been able to do, it's going to be awesome. And you look at the Desmond Bane situation that happened, of course, earlier in their earlier game. Got to bring this up. I mean, come on. You got to bring this up. We're previewing the Knicks and Magic. How could we forget this moment that we talked about a few minutes ago? Bang! Desmond Bane just loading up and chucking it at OG. And OG's like, bro, what? You kidding me? What was that for? What is this? Why did you just chuck it? And the funny thing about this is like, oh, well, I was out of bounds, bro. What do you mean? I was falling out of bounds. And that is a basketball play, right? To throw the ball off the defender when you're falling out of bounds. But the thing is, Bane was not falling out of bounds, bro. He was not. So it's just unnecessary. And Desmond Bane was just like, hey, whoa, chill. I'm good. All right. OG Anunoby and him were laughing it off. And OG's a good sport about it. So I thought that was a very interesting thing, a little wrinkle to that game that I'm excited to, since this is on Prime Video and the whole NBA world is going to be watching this one, it's definitely going to be talked about, that specific play. But you guys let me know your thoughts. Is OG Anunoby going to be able to go out there and get the job done no matter what? Now, you talk about Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby combined. The defensive ability of these two individuals is absolutely off the charts. And I think that going up against the Orlando Magic, I like the matchups. 100% love the matchups here for the New York Knicks. But there's one individual that has been playing out of his mind that we're going to make even another video on and talk about it in just a second. And that's Mr. Josh Hart, bro. Josh Hart is playing out of control. And I think he is a big key to the New York Knicks' success. And we're going to get into that in just a bit, so don't you guys worry. But I think that the combination of Jaylen Brunson playing like an MVP, OG Anunoby back and healthy, Mikal Bridges being very consistent, Josh Hart being in the starting lineup playing like an absolute dog, and Deuce McBride is injured, but you can't really feel his injury. It doesn't even feel like he's hurt, especially in that game against Toronto. But it really is awesome. And I want to ask you guys a question about the NBA Cup. Do you value the NBA Cup? Are you looking at this matchup against the Magic and you're like, I want this win. I want to go win that NBA Cup. Do you want to hang a banner at Madison Square Garden that's a non-championship banner? Because some people are like, I don't care about no NBA Cup. Like, I really don't care. It's just meaningless to me. Other fans want to get the dub. So I'm curious where you stand. Let me know in the comments, of course, where you stand on the overall NBA Cup situation. But I am really excited about this game because it shows you what type of basketball this Knicks team is capable of and the one guy that is absolutely someone that knows how to level up his game in the high pressure moments is, of course, Mr. Jaylen Brunson. I mean, Jaylen Brunson, what he did against the Orlando Magic a few weeks ago, and of course, more importantly, what he was able to do against the Toronto Raptors in the elimination game. 35 points, 4 dimes, 3 rebounds, 26 points in the first half, 20 points in the first quarter. We're witnessing greatness, man. And it really is awesome to watch Jaylen Brunson go out there and execute the level that he's executing, bro, because it really goes to show you the type of player that we have in Mr. Jaylen Brunson, because let's not forget the type of energy he brought to the table on that game against the Toronto Raptors. And the question is he going to be able to continue that? Is Jaylen Brunson going to be able to continue that? Because if he's able to continue to be that type of dominate on that capacity, we're absolutely looking for blood. And you go back into that game against the Raptors and just recapping that game a little bit, it was just off the charts to watch Jaylen Brunson do whatever he needs. And the Toronto Raptors, they got a really good defense. They have a good defense, a solid defense that I respect, and you couldn't even tell. And a good individual one-on-one defender means nothing when you're going up against Jaylen Brunson. Because even look at the shots that JB was hitting in that game. Contested, they're in his face. I mean, look at that shot right there. Are you kidding me? The guy basically fouled him, and it just doesn't even matter. And he's just getting to his spots. Bully Brunson, big body Brunson is back, folks. He won, remember, the player of the month, I believe, or player of the week, whichever one that was. And then he had 2 games of, inconsistent Jaylen Brunson. And then when the pressure is at its highest, JB levels up his game. And that's my favorite part about Jaylen Brunson, is whenever you need him to level up his game, he does. We all know what he's capable of. He was the first player since Michael Jordan to put up back-to-back 30-point games in the playoffs. The guy is an absolute monster. And when he is on like this, it felt like Jaylen Brunson just carried the Knicks offense until the offense around him started getting going in that game against the Raptors. And that's freaking awesome because there's so much talent around him where you don't need to rely on Jaylen Brunson to do these things. But when he does do these things, it's an absolute, you're never beating the Knicks when they're playing this level of basketball now. But the New York Knicks are top 10 in defensive rating, number 9 in the NBA in defensive rating, and the second highest rated offense in the entire NBA. So the Knicks are absolutely playing their what's off. And I think that it needs to translate. And I want this NBA Cup, bro. I want the Knicks to win the NBA Cup for all those reasons we talked about. Absolutely. So you guys let me know where you stand in the comment section, of course, if you want the New York Knicks to get the W. And obviously no one wants the Knicks to lose, but do you value this game against the Magic as much as other people do? I definitely do so, and I'm excited about it, man. And, of course, the whole situation with the Giannis Antetokounmpo, we've made a bunch of videos here on the channel about it. Not going to dive deep into it much right now, but I will say the success of the NBA Cup is very interesting because if the Knicks beat the Magic and win the NBA Cup, that's really going to make you wonder, why would the Knicks trade for Giannis if they're having this much success without him? So that's why it's a little interesting to see where this is going to go. But I think that the Knicks right now, they have a big opportunity to go after and execute. And the whole NBA world is keeping their eyes on these New York Knicks 110%, especially when the NBA Cup is in its 3rd season and the Knicks are able to execute at that level. Domination. If the Knicks dominate the Magic and if they beat the Thunder, I'm telling you right now, bro, there's going to be a different tune about these Knicks. If the Knicks are capable, and let's be honest, man, we talked about the Thunder already. They are the best team in the NBA. And the big problem that I think every single Knicks fan has is, are the Knicks going to be able to contend with the Thunder? Because the Thunder don't lose, man. They have 1 loss on the entire season. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff right there for the Oklahoma City Thunder side of things, which is why I want this win more than anything, because I want to see how this Knicks team matches up against the best team in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because you look around and you look at the rankings that NBA people are putting out there, the Knicks are not being respected still. They're not even in the top 5. I think that's ridiculous. If the Knicks are not on your top 5 in the NBA, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Because even with all the injuries and the adversity the Knicks have faced this season, they are still playing absolute great basketball. And the best part about this Knicks team is the obviously it's only going to get better from here. It's only up from here. The chemistry between Jaylen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, the chemistry with them and Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson now coming off the bench being a dog. Jordan, I mean, the chemistry is the secret weapon. And that is something I'm really, really intrigued by for these New York Knicks. Want to give a big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys did not know, Sleeper is the proud sponsor of Knicks Media. I'm sure you guys know of that by now. But the big reason why I'm letting you guys know about Sleeper is because you guys get a $100 deposit matched up to $100. And if you guys want to go make a big-time parlay over there for the NBA Cup, please feel free to do so. You guys can go over there and make all of the best. You got Josh Hart's line at 13.5 points. The guy has had over 13.5 points in 4 of the last 5 games. So I'm definitely taking the more on that. You can get Jaylen Brunson's line is at 28.5 points right now. So if you guys want to go over to Sleeper and build your parlay for the Orlando Magic and the New York Knicks game on Saturday, make sure you do so by using the code Knicks. We'll get you a 100% deposit match up to $100. Legal in 25 states, of course. So a big time shout out to them. Now, before we finish off the preview segment, I want to give you my prediction. Okay, my prediction in this game is simple, man. We got Jaylen Brunson, and the Orlando Magic don't have anybody at the status of Jaylen Brunson. It's that simple, man. JB has given me the confidence that he will carry the Knicks as far as humanly possible. Yes, the Magic got weapons. They got Bane. They got Paulo. They got Suggs. They're a good team, but they don't have a JB, in my opinion. They just don't. And as long as Jaylen Brunson plays the level of basketball that we just saw him play, then we're good. We're going to win against the Orlando Magic. I don't see them blowing them out. I think it's going to be a very good game. I think it's going to be competitive. That comes down to the wire. But the Knicks are going to have to stay grounded into their P's and Q's. Keep doing what works. And the offense has been the identity of this Knicks team. Playing fast, playing off ball a lot. You see all the off ball movements, getting the open shots. The ball movement has been something of joy, man. There's no stagnation on offense anymore, and that's really cool. But a guy that I want to see step up is Karl-Anthony Towns, because Towns has been playing relatively good basketball after a really tough start to this season. So I'm going to keep an eye on Mr. Karl-Anthony Towns in this one. But that's my prediction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, folks. Hit that thumbs up button and comment down below a Statue of Liberty emoji if you stayed to the end of the video. Appreciate you guys as always. The game counts towards the regular season record. The final game doesn't, says my man William. Absolutely. Yeah, so the NBA Cup right now, this does count towards. That's my question, though. Are you looking at this game like any other regular season game? Or do you look at this more as that you really want to get this win? The game against the Thunder, if they win, and I love how I'm saying against the Thunder because I'm just assuming the Thunder is going to beat the Spurs. But yes, absolutely. NBA Cup fire. It's like playoff games in the regular season. We played Magic 4 times now. And if we win, we get to see OKC early. Facts, man. I want to see what this Knicks team looks like against OKC. And I love how we're all just assuming OKC is going to be the team that advances past the Spurs. Folks, if you're joining the live, don't forget to hit the like button. Please hit the like button on your way in. Cannot thank you guys enough for all the consistent support that you show here on Knicks Media. Appreciate you guys, as always, for being here supporting Knicks Media. Now, I have another topic I want to get into with you folks. The tournament is definitely, yes, I agree. The Knicks' secret weapon. The Knicks have been a different animal ever since they put Josh Hart in the starting 5. And in this video, I want to break down everything about what we've seen from the New York Knicks since Josh Hart has been in the lineup. You see the numbers right there on the graphic. I mean, what Josh Hart has been doing has been off the charts. After having a slow start to the season because of all the injuries and him coming off the bench, all of a sudden, the Knicks are playing better than they ever had all season long. And let's not forget that Josh Hart was a big part of the Knicks last season in the starting lineup. And then Tom Thibodeau decided to switch things up last minute in the playoffs, and it threw a lot of things off. But Josh Hart being in the starting 5 right now, it really goes to show you what this is all about. And the one person I got to give a lot of credit to outside of Josh Hart is the coaching staff. The coaching staff did a tremendous job evaluating this, because the assistants underneath Mike Brown were the ones in Mike Brown's ears. Do not take Josh Hart out of the starting 5. Whenever OG gets healthy and Mitchell Robinson comes back and all these guys come back, do not take Josh Hart out of the starting 5. Had injuries. OG Anunoby went down. You slotted in Josh Hart in the starting 5. Everything changed. And then OG's healthy. Josh Hart remains in the starting five, and Mitchell Robinson now is the one coming off the bench. I think the adjustment from the New York Knicks, absolutely fantastic. So big shout out to them for doing just that. Now, look at what he's doing, bro. Please look at what Josh Hart has been able to do as of late. So as you can see on the screen, he's averaging 16.4 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, 5.7 assists, 2 steals, and his efficiency is off the charts, 55, 45, and 88%. So that's 55% from the field and a staggering 45% from three-point line, from beyond the arc, and a 68.8% true shooting percentage. The Knicks are 8-1. The Knicks are 8-1. Okay? So absolutely off the charts what we're seeing here from Josh Hart. And I think a big reason for the success also is the three-point shooting. Without the three-point shooting, I don't think Josh Hart is capable of doing what he's doing, because defenses, what they usually do against Josh Hart is they let him shoot. They're like, all right, Josh Hart, we'll give you that shot. They sag off and they dare Josh to shoot. But when he's capable of hitting his open shots, that changes everything, not just with him individually, but the entire Knicks offense. Because then you have to worry about Jaylen Brunson, OG, Mikal. Then you have 5 shooters on the floor at all times in the starting 5. Can you comprehend that? They literally have 5 shooters, because Cat can shoot the ball from 3, Bridges can, OG can, Brunson can, and if Josh Hart can, then all bets are off. And you saw what he did against the Raptors, 21 points, 6 boards, 8 for 10 from the field, bro. 8 for 10. The efficiency is off the charts. Like when we think of Josh Hart, we think of a guy that's more all about rebounding and pushing the ball in transition, downhill, picking up his dribble and having that beautiful, right or left-handed layup, finishing through contact, playing hard defense. But the jump shots, 4 of 7 from three-point land. And remember in training camp, we all saw that big injury he had on his finger. We're like, how is he going to play through that? That thing is swollen. He's never going to be able to play good basketball. Well, maybe that's the secret. Maybe the broken finger he has is what's leveling his game up, because he is playing out of his mind. And I really do genuinely think that he is a key to the New York Knicks' success, because ever since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, it's been absolutely off the charts. And I think that he's a pure Tom Thibodeau type of guy, but Mike Brown realizes that, oh, wait, I can utilize him in my way. And he is absolutely killing it, man. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts of this. Josh Hart was seen with his kid on the bench. And Lou Williams and Chandler Parsons has something to say about it on their podcast. Why is your son on the bench in a game that's not settled? Can you imagine what Tibbs would say if he saw a baby on the bench? And this just goes to show you, like, the Knicks are definitely, there's a different culture with Mike Brown. This does not bother me at all. I just feel like this is unnecessary. And by the way, this was a garbage time when this happened. The Knicks were blowing them out at this stage of the game, I remember. So it's not like it's a big deal, but I'm curious if anybody has an issue with this, with Josh Hart doing it. I definitely don't think it's a big deal, but some people have a big deal, make it a big deal. So I want to get your guys' thoughts of it. But at the end of the day, what Josh Hart has been capable of doing, man, it's been off the charts. And I think that at the end of the day, you even look at what he was doing the last 6 games previously. 17 points, 52%, 44% from 3, 10 rebounds. Like, this was when they were 5-1, before they went on their 3-game win streak. Well, now they're on a 4-game win streak, but this was their win they had a few games ago, and MSG had this graphic on the screen. This is what makes the Knicks so dangerous. And I also think sometimes when injuries happen, it could be a blessing in disguise. And this is a perfect example of that. What I mean by that is Josh Hart would not have been given the opportunity to be back in the starting 5 if it wasn't for the injury to OG Anunoby. And that's like a weird feeling, right? You don't want OG to get hurt, but this is what happens. Injuries create opportunities for others, which is why you can never, count out the Knicks when they are injuries. Landry Shamet was another guy that got hurt, and he was in the starting 5, I believe, over Josh Hart. Remember, when we had injuries, Landry Shamet was subbing in the starting 5, and Josh Hart was still coming off the bench, I believe. So it really took all the injuries to Shamet, to OG, to force Mike Brown to put Hart in the starting 5, because he had no other choice, and that he's taken it and ran with it, man. And he's playing the best basketball of his entire career. The best basketball of his entire career right now. And I think that with Jaylen Brunson's chemistry with Josh Hart, with Mikal Bridges as well, being able to go out there and play free, and Josh Hart going out there and playing the level of basketball that he's playing at, it's absolutely off the charts, man. He also has a plus 15.1 net rating since being in the starting five, which is league high. I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. It really, really is. I think that what Josh Hart is showing us is that he's capable of being a legit piece to this team. And no, do not trade him. Do not trade Josh Hart at all. I mean, look at all these stats that I'm finding. In Josh Hart's last 8 games, everybody is completely off the charts. Everybody is giving him the credit he deserves finally. And I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but when he started off the season struggling, I saw so many people say, cut Josh Hart. Josh Hart's trash. Get him off this team. And I'm like, guys, can we stop? Can we stop, like, just ready to throw players to the curb after having, like, a bad game or two to start off the season? Did we forget? Like, this was the most iconic image in, like, for the Knicks in the last decade. Like, this is what the Knicks are about, with Josh Hart being the front and center. He is the glue. He's the identity of the New York Knicks in my eyes. He's the engine. He is the engine. And Jaylen Brunson is, of course, the captain. He's the driver. Jaylen Brunson drives the car, but Josh Hart's the engine that makes the car go. And then you got OG Anunoby and the boys helping out, and Mikal and Kat. Like, the Knicks are so deep, but I feel like Josh Hart is the key to the New York Knicks' success, which is why I had to make this video and giving him the credit he deserves. You guys let me know your thoughts about Josh Hart. Do you think he's absolutely a big, big weapon? Because if he can keep shooting from beyond the arc the way that he's doing, bro, I'm telling you right now, the balance that it brings to the starting five is off the charts. And then you have Mitch now, which is another conversation about Josh Hart being in the starting five. With Mitchell Robinson coming in off the bench now, I think Mitch is better off the bench. It's giving Mitchell Robinson his opportunities more. It's also sliding Karl Anthony Towns from the 4 spot to the 5 spot. Like, it changes everything. And the defense is also playing well. And I think a big shift here that I'm seeing, when you replace Mitchell Robinson in the starting five, it needs to be with someone that can do the same thing Mitch does. And Josh Hart does the same thing Mitchell Robinson does, but just at a smaller height. Not as great at the offensive rebounds, but Josh Hart can rebound. He can defend. He can push the ball in transition. And what Josh Hart can do that Mitchell Robinson can't is shoot the ball. Now, of course, he's not an elite defender for protecting the rim. He's not as great at, getting those offensive rebounds, but that's why you got Mitch coming in off the bench. So I'm absolutely all in on what Josh Hart has been capable of doing so far in this, since he started being in the starting lineup. 8-1 the Knicks are, and look at the numbers that he is doing, man. And I'm just very happy and very, very pleased of what the New York Knicks have been capable of doing since Josh Hart has entered the lineup. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button if you guys enjoyed. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts about Josh Hart. Let's go Knicks. So you guys let me know. Hart is the heartbeat. You know it, my friend. We're done. It's over. What do you even mean we're done? We're done with what? Miss me with this negativity. Josh Hart brings a balance to the starting five. Absolutely, my friend. I agree. I agree. I would be so mad if they traded Josh Hart. Keep that man. I agree. Keep that man indeed. Keep that man indeed. He's everything. Well, I'm excited how this Knicks team looks on Saturday against those Orlando Magic. Woo! Let's get the job done in Vegas. And let's move right along and hopefully match up against OKC, because I want to see how the Knicks look against them. So sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, folks. We're going to wrap up the live here. Appreciate you guys tuning into the Knicks live streams. I enjoy doing them. So appreciate you guys as always. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you're not already. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your evening. Stay warm out there. And happy holidays. And I'm excited to keep making some content all throughout the season. Buckle up, folks, because this is just the beginning of a great ride of the New York Knicks season. I'm out, folks. Peace out.